Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Agents of M.A.C.E. Today, myself, Drew, and Alisa are going to be talking about the Falcon and Winter Soldier series and our kind of final thoughts on it, and then looking ahead to Loki and the cool news that we got this week about the series. So I guess to start, oh my gosh, all the way back to episode 1. Seems like so long ago.
It does. It's so weird
Yeah.
how far back that seems now.
Yeah, and it was only, 7 weeks ago?
Yeah. Like not even 2 whole months.
Right. It's weird to think about where the show ended and where the show started. I feel like, we talked about last time how compact the last episode was and how they really kind of tried to shove everything in. But man, oh man, going from Falcon flying around with his wings, chasing George St. Pierre around in a helicopter, and Bucky was in, rehab essentially for a assassin. And then compared to the end, it was just whoa, you guys went so far away from where we started, but in a good way. I guess it's where they wanted to take us, but it was weird to think that 6 weeks ago I hated John Walker. And then the last episode, they really tried to make me like him.
Did it work?
No. Still not a huge fan. But, I do like kind of what they did with Zemo. I was kind of okay, here we are trying to turn the bad guy good. But also I feel like maybe they're making it more relatable, so later down the line he can flip and be evil again, and we'll be like, no, not Zemo, he was so good.
So charismatic.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I really liked him in this season, though. I thought he was funny.
I did too. I think that maybe in the actual movies, they haven't given Daniel Bruhl much of a chance to shine, and that this is just more of what he can do, which has been really interesting to see. And again, I really like Zemo in this season. I know he's supposed to be at least a little bit bad, but I'm like, I can get on board with this. He's happy. He's wearing fun outfits, going back to his apparent family riches.
Yeah. I agree. I think in the movies, he was such a third-party character. I feel like he played a big role in Winter Soldier, but he really wasn't in a lot of Winter Soldier.
We didn't get to see his personality in those. We just got to see how focused he was on avenging his family. So maybe that's all of it is. No, he's not all mad at the world, so he can have a little bit of fun.
Yeah, I tried to go back and kind of remember what his whole deal was, why he hated super soldiers. Mm-hmm. And I was a little confused because it's like he blames Sokovia on super soldier serum.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not like Steve Rogers did anything to drop the city or whatever. So I kind of understand where he's coming from. Superheroes equal bad, but I don't know. I feel like it's weird for him to really focus in on, we got to get rid of super soldiers. And it's why? Why just super soldiers? I'm confused.
Maybe that's just the easiest one he can get to at the moment. And now that he's on the raft, he's just thinking, okay, what am I going to do about Thor?
Yeah. Well, I wonder if maybe the next time we see him, there will be some sort of prison break on the raft, and that's how a bunch of the MCU bad guys kind of escape out into the world. To kind of an easy way to set up for future series. Or,
I wouldn't mind seeing that.
Yeah, I was kind of bummed when they were on the raft before and we didn't really get to see anybody in there. I was like, oh man, this would be a cool moment to show, I don't know, something in the background. Well, what was your favorite part I guess out of the 6 episodes. It was a shorter season than
It was.
others.
I really liked any of the scenes that we got to see Bucky and Sam kind of butting heads, just because that was funny. And again, the way that Anthony Mackie and Sebastian Stan can play off each other is really, really good. And so getting to see that showcased in this series, when, again, we haven't really had an opportunity to in the movies except for just a couple of scenes, has been the best part to me. And, of course, Sebastian Stan's heart-wrenching scene at the beginning of that one episode, I think it was 4, whenever he's finally fully deprogrammed and is just like in full-on sobbing mode, but then comes up and he's like, I'm free. That was such a great scene. So, like, powerful, and it really shows Sebastian Stan's range, and also he's just such a sad little baby, and I felt things watching it.
I liked that too. I thought that was one of the strongest scenes of the season, I think, as far as emotional range goes. I think for me, my favorite part was just, it had to be when the I'm gonna have to look. The Dora Milaje came and basically just beat everybody up.
Yes, that was so good.
I think that was my favorite part of the whole season. It was so cool to see them just be awesome, and it really, like, in your face, John Walker, like, you're nothing special.
Yay.
So I really liked that, and there were a couple fun moments in there too, where, like, they knocked the shield away, and Bucky picks up the shield, and you're like, oh, but then he gave it back, and I thought that was just like a whole fun scene. So I'm really hoping that in season 2 of this, we'll get to see more of the Dora Milaje or more stuff going on in Wakanda. I just think there's so much that could happen that pulls them in, because they're such a cool group to begin with. So,
and we know that Marvel is wanting to show more of Wakanda in the future, and so it would be interesting to see it kind of introduced in maybe a subsequent season of Falcon and the Winter Soldier, even before the next Black Panther movie comes out. Yeah, I think that would be great. They were, like you said, awesome. And anytime John Walker gets, punched, hit, or kicked in the face, I would also like to add that to my favorite part. Oh, also, I just realized this week that I'm a complete idiot, and I did not realize that Wyatt Russell was Kurt Russell and Goldie Hawn's son.
Yeah.
I had no idea. I've just been sitting here thinking, like, a little bit. He does look a little bit like Kurt Russell. I wonder. And no, never ever pieced it together because I'm stupid.
I've seen him in a couple other movies and a couple other things, and I've never really been a fan. But this show, I feel like he was good enough to bring that character to life as someone that, like, you don't really like throughout the season, and then at the end you're kind of like, okay, he's fine. You don't like him, but you're fine with him being
He's at
around.
least medium.
Yeah. He's like, yeah, exactly. It's a lukewarm feeling. So I thought he did a really good job with that. Going back to thinking about how everyone was, like, of course, Sebastian Stan and Anthony Mackie, like you said, I mean, anytime they were together on screen, it was gold. But I feel like, oh God, you just hated John Walker so much. Every time he was on, you're like, oh, look at this stupid fake Captain America. But then at the end, you're just like, yeah, whatever. Good thing you're not Captain America anymore.
Relief. Just relief. I'm sure he's probably okay with it too.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure he'll show up in season 2 or get his own show or something. I don't know. I do like that this show kind of set up future things. I felt like WandaVision kind of ended, and I don't really know if they were to come out tomorrow and be like, there's WandaVision season 2, I'd be like, what's it about? I mean, They didn't really leave us on anything. They just kind of wrapped that story up. I mean, of course, Vision's, we don't know where Vision is, and Wanda is out or whatever, but it's not really like a cliffhanger. Whereas this one, I feel like there were some things that it ended on that you're like, ooh, well, what's going to happen next?
Yeah, I feel like with WandaVision, I think we can walk into the next Doctor Strange movie, which it's supposed to be kind of leading into, and not have seen WandaVision and just be like, okay, Wanda's sad and she's in a cabin, go. And I don't think we'll be able to do that with any subsequent Captain America films because of how far the series took both of those characters. But Wanda essentially kind of got reset. She might have made her peace with like losing Vision and things like that, but it's not the kind of thing we saw happening with Bucky and Sam. Like, Sam is a whole new character now. He's right. Captain America.
Yeah, and I mean, really, Wanda, like you said, Wanda just got a complete reset. Because at the end, she was sad Vision died, and then she's not necessarily like not sad anymore, but all we know about Vision is he's alive again and he's having like a crisis of what is he, who is he?
Yeah, he's somewhere, and he's like, what?
Right. So it's like, well, that's kind of all we watched an entire season of a show, and at the end, all we know is Wanda's powerful, but she was powerful before, and Vision, we don't know, he's alive, but that's it.
Like Wanda Scarlet Witch now, but like she's always been Scarlet Witch. That's what we've been calling her. They didn't use the word in the movies yet, but that's like we knew, so that's
right.
nothing that's all that big of a stretch. I mean, not to take away from WandaVision. I really, really enjoyed WandaVision. Maybe, and I was thinking about this today. I was like, do I like WandaVision better than I liked Falcon and the Winter Soldier? And I might. I don't know. They're so different that it's hard to compare them. But I don't know. I think maybe WandaVision pulls just a little bit ahead, partly because of, it kept us guessing. We didn't really know what was going on at all for the first few episodes. It's just like, okay, well, I guess we are in the Dick Van Dyke Show now. Great. We're Mary Tyler Moore now. Great. Okay. And just kind of figuring out why weird stuff keeps happening. And in this one, it was, like we've said already, it's more straightforward. We just, like, second episode, get pulled straight into the plot. And then at the end, kind of like what we expected. Sam is Captain America. Bucky is, much like Wanda, not as sad anymore. Probably still a little sad, but not all the way sad.
It is weird, because now that you say that, I could see WandaVision was a series. Like, WandaVision was a TV show, and you could watch episode to episode. But if you took Falcon and the Winter Soldier and cut it together as one long thing, it's just a movie. There's no real need for it to be episode to episode. So it's almost like they got away with making a Falcon Winter Soldier movie without telling anyone they made a movie.
And making it 6 hours long.
Exactly, yeah. So it is funny that you say that, because yes, I would agree that of the two, the better series was probably WandaVision, because it gave you something to look forward to each week, whereas this was just like a movie. At the end, I watched a movie, a 6-hour-long movie.
It's basically Justice League, but with these two characters.
Yeah, and not
black
in
and white
4-3
for no reason.
It's artistic. Well,
we'll talk about Zack Snyder another time.
So now that this is over, we are kind of left waiting for Loki, but we got some exciting news that Loki is now moving up its release date.
2 days.
Yeah, 2 whole days. So I wonder what that's going to do for the series, because does that mean it's going to come out not on Fridays every week?
Based on what I've read, it will be released on Wednesdays every week. And I think the reason why they did that is because that last Friday that it would have aired its last episode is when Black Widow opens. And so I don't think they wanted anything taking away from Black Widow. So, like, they can be like, oh, it's just Loki being goofy and doing his own thing. No, it's because they want all the attention on Black Widow.
That's interesting. Okay.
Which I'm fine with.
Yeah, I kind of like that. I think waiting until Friday is rough, but Wednesday to Wednesday doesn't seem as long. I mean, it's the same amount of time, but it doesn't seem as long as Friday to Friday.
Right.
So
Weirdly, that makes total sense to me. Yeah, like Wednesday to Wednesday, that's like no time at all.
yeah, that's like 4 days. Well, what are you looking forward to most in Loki?
Um, that's tough to say. I mean, obviously, I'm looking forward to seeing more Loki because, like, my only complaint with any previous Thor movies, including The Dark World, like, I'll defend that movie to the ground, except for Malekith, is that they needed more Loki. And we're finally getting a lot of Loki, so that's the main thing I'm looking forward to. I want to see what Tom Hiddleston can do with the character whenever he's given, more of the spotlight on him, because he's a really, really great actor. And so I'm excited to see some more of his range come through with the show. I love Owen Wilson too, and his bits in the trailers have been really funny. So I'm looking forward to knowing his character a little bit better. And also, I haven't seen much of the stuff, and this is going to sound so dorky, but the showrunner is a lady named Kate Herron. And I started following her on social media as soon as, the news broke that she was going to be doing the Loki show. And she is awesome. She's hilarious. This show is in such good hands. Like, again, I have not seen her other work, but as a person, she seems really cool. So I'm hoping she brings something that's really unique. And I'm excited that they've got a woman running this show. And apparently one of the main writer is from Rick and Morty, which I've watched some with my husband. So, and I like Dan Harmon and his stuff. So I think it's going to turn out good. I mean, fingers crossed. I guess it could be a complete disaster, but
Yeah,
I'm hoping not.
I saw that they were involved with it too, and I was like, this could either be really good or really bad, because they could either.
It's going to be real weird.
Yeah, oh yeah, and I love all the weird things that those minds can pump out, but I feel like with something like this, it's like we got to find that line where it needs to be weird enough to keep people being like, ooh, this is crazy. But if it's too weird, then I feel like they're going to end up turning people off. But I think Loki's a good character to do it, because he can be, Tom Hiddleston's always had that, like, he's kind of funny, but he's also weird, but he's also kind of sassy. And it's like, okay, like, I don't know. I'm excited for the show. I think the thing I'm most excited for is stuff in the background, to be honest. I feel like with Falcon Winter Soldier was just, there were some things, but a lot of it was more in your face. They were like, hey, look at this. Hey, look at this. Do you see this back here? It's like, yeah, I would rather you not show it to me and me like see it while I'm watching. And I feel like this show, even with just in the trailer, there are so many things popping up in the background of scenes that I'm like, okay, this is my jam. Finding all these fun little Easter eggs. So I think it'll be a good time.
There's no telling what all they could tie in, since it's like time hopping, probably universe hopping eventually.
Right.
So they could do a lot with the show.
Right.
And I'm just kind of curious to see what they will do. And like we were saying, it's probably going to be weird. WandaVision got away with a lot of weird stuff.
Yeah.
And it worked. And so I'm hoping that whatever weirdness they throw at us is going to make total sense. And we're all just going to be like, yes, this is super unique and so exciting. Instead of, what?
I had a thought the other day. I've been trying to follow with the news of No Way Home. And, everyone is saying, oh, all 3 Spider-Men are going to show up in it. They have Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire. And I was like, oh, that would be really cool. But then I started thinking, I watched an interview with Andrew, and he kept saying, like, no, I'm not in it. No, I'm not in it. And, okay, maybe that's just him trying to cover his tracks to not be the one that spoils it. But
yeah,
I was also thinking, wouldn't it be crazy if maybe he wasn't in that Spider-Man movie, but he shows up in Loki? Because it is like time hopping, universe hopping, so this could be the way that they kind of show that to everyone with like a big name character that we all know. I mean, with them having Don Cheadle in, well, I think he was only in episode 1, right, of Falcon Winter Soldier, but
I think so.
It was like, oh, and not to take away from Anthony Mackie or Sebastian Stan, they're also Avengers, but it was like, Don Cheadle, hey, he's in this movie. So I almost could. I feel like they could throw someone in there from another universe.
I'm pulling for Deadpool.
That would be so great. I mean, when are we going to hear any
best thing
news?
ever.
I want any news on the Disney Deadpool movie. I
don't know.
I can't really tell. It used to be easier to figure out what Marvel was planning. It was all very like calculated, and now I feel like it's just COVID kind of threw everything off with Black Widow, so that got pushed, and then shows got flipped around, and everything's just kind of coming out when it comes out, but it's like there doesn't seem to be any real thread.
I think that the Multiverse of Madness was supposed to be released today.
Oh.
Like, I think that this was
the original
its initial release date. Mm-hmm. And that makes me sad.
Yeah, we
still have some time to wait.
Yeah, we could be exploring different universes, and maybe that's how they wanted it to be, but then I don't know. I feel like if I were in charge, I would be like, put things out. People are at home, they want to watch stuff. If it's done, it's done. People are going to pay for it.
Yeah.
I understand wanting to wait until theaters are open, but at the same time, if you're trying to kind of thread us along, like we're supposed to have a show and then a movie and then a show and then a movie, and now we've done show, then movie. It's like, oh, well, I feel like we're missing out. The story is being broken up from what they wanted us to watch the story as.
And it's not like they're not putting cinematic stuff in these TV shows.
Oh, yeah.
Because they totally are.
Oh, yeah. There's no way that they spent any less money on Falcon Winter Soldier than they would have on a movie. I mean...
They spent as much as they did on 2 movies, because it was twice as long.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, I guess our last little bit of business this week is just a crazy Arkansas story.
Yes.
There is a real-life superhero calling out a serial killer in Little Rock. His name is Night Vision, I believe.
Shadow Vision.
Shadow Vision.
I've been researching this the last couple of days, and it's just insane.
He has a pretty cool costume. He wears all black with a helmet mask situation.
Ninja swords.
Yep, he's got.
Hey, I noticed today handcuffs.
Oh yeah, well yeah, you got to have your handcuffs. He's got handcuffs, sword strapped to his back, much in a Deadpool fashion. He's got Psy on his leg, and he has Batman gauntlets with the little knives sticking out the side of him. And I was like, man, this guy he's the real deal.
Yeah, he is. And he has called out the serial killer who is currently tearing up, I guess it's North Little Rock, looking at the map, or maybe it's just Little Rock. But yeah, he posted on his page. I've got it pulled up so I can read the quote. He said, "I know that the serial stabber is keeping an eye on my page here. So this is a threat to you. When I find you, I will show you what I do to serial killers. I am hunting you right now." And this stabbing guy, this is no joke. He has stabbed 4 people and 3 of them have died.
Yeah.
And so I'm currently worried for Shadow Vision if he's trying to call out an actual serial killer in the middle of Little Rock.
Yeah.
But then looking at his page, he's got so much more going on than just the serial killer. He's putting together a super team.
Oh.
Have you seen this?
No, yeah. I have not.
First of all, he's got a good buddy that goes on patrol with him a lot called Master Legend.
Okay.
And he's in contact with other real-life superheroes across the country and in other countries. And he's saying that, they're going to come and help him do his patrols. And some of them have. I was looking back, and yeah, he's had some people come in from out of town who are also real-life superheroes and, go around and, fight crime with him. And I have not seen any evidence that they have actually stopped or prevented any actual crime. But they have taken a lot of photo opportunities with small children who think that they are neat.
Well, it's the little things that count. I remember a couple of years ago, there was a documentary on Netflix or on Hulu, and it was about a super team in New York, I believe, of real-life superheroes. And I always thought, a lot of their stuff was like, they would go feed people at the homeless shelter, or they would bring food and water to homeless people out in the community. And I was like, that's cool. Like, you're doing your part, and you want to dress up like a superhero, go for it. I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
This calling out a serial killer, though, I mean, that's no joke. Like, I don't know whether to expect the next story we see to be local superhero stabbed to death or local superhero kills serial killer. Like,
can you imagine?
I mean, the vigilante vibes are. I mean, it's like real life Kick-Ass is what's happening right now.
It is. And the cops are also like, because he was on the news this week too, and the cops were saying like, we know of him, seems perfectly nice, he talks to us, we don't know who he is, he's harmless. That's been their major takeaway. He's harmless, he's fine. But like, I don't think that they're in cahoots or anything. So,
yeah.
I applaud you, very, very brave Shadow Vision, for your community service and also for apparent non-fear of serial murderers. But also pretty worried.
Yeah, we're thinking about you, Shadow Vision. If you want to come on the show, that'd be fun.
Oh, yes. Also, good luck on getting the car. He's raising money for a car right now to expand his patrol.
Oh, okay. Fingers crossed on the car. But he better make sure to like kit it up. I want it to be have a big SV on the front, wings on the side, or I don't know, something. It's gotta look the part.
Gotta be souped up. Somebody get this man a body kit.
One thing that I noticed, and I tried to look it up and I didn't really find anything, was so all around the country and in other countries, there are these real life superheroes.
Mm-hmm.
I am surprised. Yeah, I'm surprised with the number of real life superheroes there are. There aren't more real life supervillains. I thought for sure if, people feel strongly enough to dress up and patrol the streets at night, there would be someone alternately who would feel strongly enough to dress up and be a supervillain. I mean, I'm glad there aren't, don't get me wrong, but I just thought it was a weird, like, I don't know, it's like a weird thing where we have all these real life superheroes, we don't have any supervillains.
Well, I mean, who wants to be the punk that's going around like kicking over trash cans and stuff for attention when you could also get attention by doing this other thing that everyone thinks is cool and
true,
takes pictures with you.
Yeah, I mean, hey, if that's what it takes for people to be good, just to be like, look, dress up like a superhero, patrol the streets, I'm all for it.
Yeah,
I think it's great. So here
also, I feel like it'd be harder to be a supervillain.
Yeah. Oh, definitely harder, or at least harder to like keep up your appearance if you're trying to like rob somebody and then run down the street in like a red flash suit or something. I don't know. But Shadow Vision, we're rooting for you. Yeah,
Absolutely.
I'm excited to see more about this super team that they're putting together. I hope that maybe that becomes a bigger thing, and we can run like a story on that. Did they have a name? Did they say?
No, although I did see somebody posting on his page and say, too bad the Defenders is taken.
Oh, well, there's our Marvel tie-in. I mean, they could be the Defenders, though, right? Like,
maybe they spell it different.
Yeah.
Maybe with a dollar sign instead of an S.
I like that. But then he needs to change his name.
Yes. To just
dollar sign
Shadow
Vision.
His Facebook page, by the way, is real life superhero Shadow Vision, in case you wanted to go follow him.
And we strongly suggest you following him so you can follow along with us as we follow Shadow Vision's.
And he just got a puppy. Sorry, I just saw that.
Yeah, he posts his real life stuff on there.
Yeah.
So, yeah, get to know Shadow Vision with us. Well, I think that about wraps it up this week. We will be back next week, and we'll be back next week with maybe one or two different options.
Ooh.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking maybe we would go back through and watch some of the movies. Maybe we want to pick like Thor, and watch the Thor movies to kind of really get into Loki and kind of see what we think is going to happen in Loki. Where, is this going to be Loki by himself, or is Loki going to be a part of a team? Maybe he's going to go back to Asgard. We don't know. I mean, we've seen Wakanda show up in this last show. It'd be cool if someone from Asgard showed up in Loki. So we'll look forward to that.
Asgard, but yeah.
Yeah. Asgard with a $sign. So be sure to join us next week, where we are going to really dive into getting ready for Loki, getting everyone else excited for it.
Yeah.